I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We are joined by Tank. Hi, Tank.
Hi. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Tank Bearclaw. I am an analog man, and I am a digital bear.
and that is more than enough for you, listener.
Yeah, that's 50% analog man, 50% digital bear. That's all I got is 100%. You can't really get more than that. So
I always give 70%. Because say if you show up and one day accidentally give 80%, they think you're giving 110%, and you still got 20% left.
I got to keep it in the tank for emergencies.
That's right. I use the Mr. Scotty approach.
Yeah, what if there's it's happened to me. It's like, what if there's traffic and you're like, I need gas.
That's right. Always something left in me. Maybe I need to breathe or something. I want that extra, especially at this age. I need to conserve all the energy I possibly can. We were talking before going on, and I was relating some things to Tank that's going on. I said, I don't need to find trouble.
Yeah. I tell people I have the Jackie Chan problem. That's in every movie. Invariably, he's it's the Rumble in the Bronx. Like, I don't want no trouble, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm in an IKEA like hurling ladders at people. It's like I just trying to live, man.
All I wanted was a latte, man.
Yeah.
Well, how long have you been doing the VTuber thing?
On and off since 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why?
Was
it something you just wanted to pick up, or were you watching other VTubers, or what?
I didn't know what a VTuber was. No idea. Did not know. It was pretty much by happenstance. I did radio in college and tried to do radio in the 2020s. Very hard to do.
Yes, I can attest to that.
So I was like, okay, this Twitch thing is interesting, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I gotta like set up a camera, and I'm coming home from my day job looking like 2 tons of something and and like a half-ton sack, and I was like, all right, what is this thing? And I saw like them on YouTube or whatever, and I went, oh, that's interesting, these animated videos or whatever. And I have an artist friend, and they had made a simple model for their girlfriend, and I said, hey, let me get one of those, because I'm doing like little videos and editing and whatever, and having a mascot would be nice.
Yeah. And
then it turns out, like, they're like, oh, you need this program, you got to go through this. If you have an iPhone, you can do this. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll fiddle with it. I'll F around and figure it out.
Right.
And then I started that, and another friend of mine was like, oh, so you're a VTuber now? I'm like, a what? Come again? I'm a what? And then it just sort of spiraled from there. I still kind of am not hip to the lingo or anything.
Right.
I'm having conversations with friends, and they're like, what are you typing? I'm like, I had to Google that. I don't know who you're talking about, or what is that?
Yes. Yeah, that's brilliant, isn't it? You have sometimes I have a whole interview where somebody be using a term the whole way, and I'm just like nodding, and then later on, like, what did I just say? Okay.
I was interested only in just broadcasting in general, right? Like, I just wanted to make stuff. You got to have some outlet for energy, or it's going to go to waste, or it's either going to go to waste, eat at you, or you're not going to do anything positive with it. So
yeah, I mean, for me, people who haven't done it don't know the exhilaration that you actually get from going on the air with something that you put together, or going on live with something that works like that. It's a whole different animal itself.
And it was all right. At sort of halfway through, been like 2020 to 22 to 23, sort of some major life changes and stuff, and I was like, okay, one chapter is over,
Hmm.
I'm kind of transitioning into like the second half of a career path. So
Right.
I'm getting ready for my like the last 10 years of this career path before retirement. And you gotta have something. So I started doing more and more of this,
Hmm.
just life changes pushed me into, well, now I have to do something. I can't just,
That's right.
yeah, I can't be a victim of circumstances, perpetually a victim. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let me put that energy somewhere. And now it's morphed into this beast that I have to manage.
Half man, half bear, half internet.
Yeah, I sort of this interview you sort of came also in a very a serendipitous time where I'm kind of shifting gears and coming around to something I haven't seen in the sort of capital C community space. So
Mm.
I've been I a lot of background work because I'm one of those people that like I it's very internet centric, and my younger friends and even the guys I train at work who are like in that 19 to 25 range,
Right.
they live very public lives, right? Like
Yeah.
everything is online, everything is and I didn't grow up with that.
No.
So it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um
Eh,
so I'll be in my little workshop area just tinkering away, and then an update happens, and I jokingly will write it like old World of Warcraft patch notes. So like that's what I'm from, like
yeah.
you gotta get a software update. But yeah, I just thought it was a fun creative outlet, but also, man, I just turn on the phone and I'm covered in dirt and grease on a after a work day, and I could just, yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the great things about it is that, I was a bachelor for 43 years, and anybody who was a bachelor for 43 years can tell you is that you will never want to have any place in your apartment if you're living by yourself clean. It's just
Oh,
not happening. You can look at it and maybe you take a swing at it now and again, but if to do that for something like a stream and a camera on you daily, every day, no, it wouldn't work like that. This gives you the opportunity to have something out there and still represent yourself and not have to worry about cleaning up. You sit down and go.
yep.
And
Yep. I'm in my re-bachelor phase.
yeah,
So it's the the I'm looking around and I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't turn on a camera here. It's just like my work. I lit my workbench on fire twice last week, working on something, and um,
are we
yeah, one of
related?
the say again.
Are we related? My wife doesn't let me near any tools whatsoever because she knows I will hurt me, her, or somebody else. Yeah.
I, I I did the old home improvement like Tim the Toolman Taylor, like I can give it more power, and then I was like, am I having a stroke or is that a fire? Somebody unplugged the toaster.
Yes. Absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
no, it was on fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it's become uh, both a social and creative outlet. I think that's
Hmm.
healthy.
Yeah.
Just where I'm at. But one of the major things is I'm working on and sort of I did theater too. So right now it's the project of, okay, everything is digital.
Right.
Like social has become digital. People's relationships are digital.
Hmm.
VTubing as a medium is digital.
Right.
What tactile real objects can I do? So I'm creating this whole like diorama theater setting that I can live modulate, and you can see it happen in real time, and
Oh,
it's
cool.
it's just been this monster of a project that I have to figure out as I go, because I am uh very specifically not technically adept.
But even so, though, it's got to be. I mean, something like that. If you really wanting to do it and you're enjoying yourself doing it, that's the best thing. That's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Halfway through I realized like, oh, I can this is a movie set. I can make movies with this. So now I'm working on sort of, they call it quote unquote VTuber lore.
Yeah,
And I a big movies guy here.
yeah.
Uh in the last 10 years I've seen like 3,000 films.
Good gravy.
Most of Yeah, I love movies. Any moment I get, it's like, oh, do I have 90 minutes? Let me find a movie. So I big fan of like, and I'm gonna sound like every other movie guy, like Werner Herzog, David Lynch, the Cronenberg films, just those really sort of like classic films.
Hmm.
So I'm working on sort of incorporating more of that, and it's just been this like, how do I take my interests and put them into something that isn't just going to be passive?
Right, right. Well, I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, you're putting everything to work into it, and you're like you're. It's someone else could look at what you're doing and say, well, "That's a lot of work," but well, no. What it is you're doing something you enjoy, and you're getting a good pastime out of it, and it's something that you are proud of doing. It's not really work. It's not a hobby either. It's beyond that.
Yeah, it's I tell people who are I used to teach a I still sometimes do. My A friend of mine is a professor at a one of the community colleges that is from back home,
Hmm.
uh, and he's like, "Hey, would you do a life skills class for the students? I don't feel I need a day off," and that's just sort of been the thing. So what I tell some people is, I know it's hard to sort of see your everybody wants to have this meaning with their jobs, and the push to monetize your hobbies, and like
Oh,
that's what people do.
oh
It's like,
yeah,
no. Like, work is how you make a living, life is outside,
yeah.
your hobbies is part of life, treat it like that, and you won't burn yourself out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've got family members who look at what I'm doing here, and let's face it, only a crazy man does, literally 600 interviews in a year and a half. But so I'm crazy, and they're like, "Why can't you make money off of it?" I said, "Well, I could, but then I'd hate it."
Yeah, I tell my other friends, it's like, it'd be nice for it to be self-sustaining, and if I did enough for it to be self-sustaining, that's it. That's
Yeah,
really the sort of the peak of it, right? The pinnacle of what I care enough to do.
right,
But
right.
I would be doing this anyway, and let's face it, uh, I would be spending the money on dumber things.
That's right. I mean, I've got a baseball card collection for crying out loud. I haven't paid enough attention to. I could be filling the holes in that collection for crying out loud. Uh,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things I have put on the shelf over the years, but the taking something and that it's gone beyond a hobby at that point. I don't know what the exact word should be, and I hate that because I really like having the exact word. But you also see a lot of people who will do things up to the point where they say, "Yeah, this is going pretty good. How I can make? Let me take some orders for it and make some money." And then they start hating it and quit and start over with
oh,
something
what?
else.
Yep, one
Yeah,
hundred percent.
yeah,
And I never wanted sort of that was never a goal.
yeah.
And maybe at some point later down the line it will be.
Mm.
I'm not one to say that there's a right or a wrong to that outlook. It's just a matter of it. it you know,
It kind of
I
defeats the
struggle
purpose,
to
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
I struggle to think about it, right? Because in as someone who's done these things, I've played music, I've done artwork, I've done these things that you do for better or worse for the love of the game.
Right.
I think that one of the things that I see as my younger compatriots will sort of drag me into knowing and being a little more involved is the burnout problem, and
Mm.
it's like that's just asking for too much. It's either this is your creative and social outlet or it's your job,
Right.
and sort of half splitting your attention and your energy in that way doesn't really, you don't get the full return, and it always feels like there's something lacking. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at,
Yeah.
and now I'm free to be weird.
There you go. There's your marketing T-shirt right there. Free to be weird.
Yeah. Like my model is a clay teddy bear.
Yep.
It is. I loved stop motion growing up and everything like that, and I was fortunate enough to work with an artist and a creator who's also a VTuber that does their like a '60s cartoon, and that my original model was from another friend, and it was a little more. It was a teddy bear, but he was Randy Orton in the 2000s. He was a professional wrestler and big professional wrestling fan.
Oh yeah.
And I tried to do the whole like character bit thing, and I did that for about 6 months, and I went. I respect to actors. I couldn't do it, so it morphed into that, which also was just they had posted on Twitter. It was Twitter at the time, and it will forever be.
Right.
And they said, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I started making these clay models for X amount of money? And I immediately sent them, I saw it, I sent them a DM and I said, okay, you'll have the money Sunday. I'll send you some references. And they're like, wait, what?
Whoa, yeah, no, wait.
I was like, hey, you know, like, oh, were you serious? Because I should have said it if you weren't serious. And they're right. Like, you know what? Let's do it. So like, they did the model and everything, and I was getting into stop motion at the time, and I'm still fiddling with it. But I was like, wait a minute, I can integrate like my little expressions that pop up. I made in clay, and I photograph them, and they show up, and it's all very the channel is called the Bearclaw Broadcast Workshop, and it's very workshoppy and handmade, and I was inspired by heavily by this duo that makes stop motion video games. Ooh. They did everything in stop motion, and I've been talking with them and just kind of going, how do you do this? What do you do?
Yeah, I would have absolutely no ability to do that. It would be stop motion blobs, and you still wouldn't be able to tell one from the other by the time I was done. I mean, like my thumb would be on the screen and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's a good thing we're not recording this, so I can admit I have no idea what I'm doing, and I figure it out as I go. And
nope, not recording it at all.
That's the joy in it. That's the joy in it. It has gotten to the point where in sort of the communities I'm in, I'm the elder statesman, and it's like, yes, I would like to serve as an example of you don't have to be a professional, or you don't have to know what you're doing necessarily to make something that is very you, that brings you joy, and like that that like care and that love that you put into it is palpable. You can tell when food is made with love, and then when it's just fast food churned out, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You can tell when I've made the pasta and when my wife's made the pasta. For one, when I do it, the microwave goes ding.
Thankfully I'm a very good cook, and that is also things that I'm filming are cooking videos, because cool. It's like I work on average 70 to 100 hours a week.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, listen, I'm at my place of business for most of the week. Here's some things you guys can make for yourselves that doesn't just taste like I ordered it. So, I'm kind of
up.
I'm kind of becoming the. I have readily become the old man VTuber that's like the strange neighbor that just does weird stuff and has a great time.
You made a pie? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want 18 pounds of chicken wings?
I just woke up and made them. Okay, they got my special sauce on. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I have 6 pounds of pizza dough just rising in the kitchen right now.
Yeah.
So
You need some extra pizza dough? You can chop off some of mine. When if I have cooked raw chicken exactly one time in my life.
wow, yeah, I I like doing I like working with my hands. I like doing just doing things. It's
Yeah.
just that tactile thing of doing things, and a lot of this whole VTubing thing has become that. I feel like I'm one step away from becoming the Carrot Top or the Gallagher of VTubing, where it's I'm gonna start smashing watermelons and having props.
Where every time somebody subscribes, a watermelon gets smashed on my head.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, yeah. Oh, get the mallet!
Smash.
You're in the splash zone.
That's right. Everybody has to wear the raincoats in the front row, please.
Yeah,
No, no, not for
yeah,
that reason. Okay, not for that reason. Uh, the, the it seems like you're really enjoying yourself with it, and you got a really good attitude before it. Um, yeah, it's you're not looking at it as a job. You're not looking at it as something that is be all end all. But at the same time, I'm guessing that if you didn't have it, you'd miss it.
yeah, and the it's taken a while. I think, and we're all prone to the comparisons. We're all prone to these, and my friends who also VTube, they have this every now and again. It's why sorry, I'm drinking an energy drink, and it's making my old man body burp.
It's,
I
it's energizing the wrong
yeah,
part.
yeah, it's a the comparisons, the thief of joy kind of thing. It's oh, look at how these people are. The term they use is blowing up, and
Yeah,
they've got these fancy things, and they're spending all this money to do that. And
yeah,
um, I I found myself getting that way. It's like, oh, what's how do I progress? How do I do this? And
yeah,
then you sort of take a step back and you go, okay, but if that happens, where do I go from there? And then you get that actual anxiety of the unknown where you're like, I don't know. And I'm looking at my Discord window on one of my screens, and the first three messages are from friends sort of feeling that way, and
yeah.
I just tell them like you have to go at your own pace.
Hmm.
I powerlifted when I was younger. I coached athletes as well, and that's also a thing where it's the people that I knew that were elite level, that were making the good money doing it, that were doing these things that you achieve, and it's like that guy's a professional man.
Yeah,
He's something special. Then it's like no, he's got a networking job in his day job and works a 9 to 5 and is raising 2 kids. He's not any really different than anybody. It's
it's
just a
yeah,
matter of he's got a very good view, and he's just going sequentially through these things, and he's going at his own pace.
hmm,
And when you talk to those sort of elite level, they enjoy competition. They don't see competition as something that's happening to them.
right.
And in the creation space of artists, musicians, everything, if you treat it like a competition, you can't treat it like it's not animosity.
Right.
You have to love the idea of competing. You have to love the idea of the genre that you're in, and you'll succeed
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you'll carve out your own niche.
Oh, absolutely.
And especially in the arts and broadcasting, it's not like
Yeah.
I can win and I'm not going to win the heavyweight title. I will. If there was a heavyweight title, let's face it, bar none, there's very little competition. I know my abilities, but
Yeah.
I can slam a dude.
Yeah.
But that took a long time for me to to register and go, I I don't have to do that to myself. And if there's one thing I do want to tell other people in the VTuber space, it's yeah, you're doing that to yourself. It's not an external pressure, it's an internal anxiety, and
Yeah,
and work through that.
yeah. It happens. You have the broadcast experience. You know how the business had gotten by the time you were getting out of it. Um, it's local radio is pretty well dead in
Oh yeah.
most of the United States, and certainly it is here. I'll tell people straight up. I was 2 years in a row, uh, best voted top sportscaster in the state for my market size. Um, wonderful, nice, $10 an hour,
Yep.
and it did not
Yep.
go up, and it was not going
Yep.
up, which is why I'm not in it anymore.
Yeah.
You get it's you don't get that. It's nice to be able. I had a few of those little statues. I kept one of them. Let the station see it. I'll let my grandson take a look at it when he wants it. And like, okay, that's nice, fine. But if that's what you're going for, if you're going for the awards and stuff, and you're gonna knock yourself out for it and the recognition, then that's what you're gonna get. But if you're doing it to enjoy yourself, it's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, you have to be in that mode.
Yeah.
Like you have that becomes the thing. The things that you yeah, you have to plan for that. That has to be what you're doing. And I think I mentioned it before. It's the half splitting of the. Well, I want all of these. This is how I make friends. This is how I do that. And it's like sure, but if you're splitting your focus like that, if you're going back and forth and you're not in these modes,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm doing this whole big lecture on Twitch eventually about modes and
Nice.
focus and stuff because I give training at my job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, broadcasting didn't work out. Neither did my econ degree. So military it is.
Broadcasting and econ, those are two things that do not go together well.
No,
these days.
I had look. I had a degree, and they just needed a degree, and I tried it.
Yep.
But it's I train the younger guys, and I tell them like, you, it is very hard to split your focus, and it's once you're split like that, it's very hard to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on that. It's a lot of research.
It is. It is. It's a lot of research, and for people who are growing up in the society the way it is today, they are at very young ages doing this.
Oh yeah.
When I was a kid, my focus was basically, get done with whatever I needed to do at school, which I usually didn't do anyway. Get whatever mom and dad wanted me to do at home done, and then play with my baseball cards.
Yeah.
There wasn't any internet to go to. Hell, I could tell people we didn't even have a phone in our house until I was 6. I mean, I was back in the old days. But really, it was that type of thing, and now there are so many things coming at you from so many different sides that it's hard for anybody growing up in this particular society to focus on anything in particular.
Yeah, and it's more about controlling. And what's a good way to say this? Let me think for a second.
Discipline?
I think that's a loaded term for some people.
Yeah, it is. It very much is. Yes.
Yeah, it's like discipline is the regimented. I make my bed at 4 a.m. every day and I go for a run. To some, but what I think importantly VTubing has taught me, and I try to teach other people, is it's controlling your attention span. There's so like if I just open up random social media thing, I immediately get bombarded with like, what? Let me just flick my. All right, yeah, this thing is happening. This thing's happening. This thing's happening, and it's. I'm not in control of that. That's not a thing that's happening.
Right.
It's just getting thrown at me,
Right.
and it's if I start going down these rabbit holes, I'm sort of I'm being dragged along, and that sucks. That feeling sucks.
Yeah, and
And
the ability to not do anything
um,
about it,
yeah, yeah,
if you don't like
and
it, it's really bad too.
I think in VTubing it's really nice because unlike other broadcast mediums in niches, you can just do your own thing, and it's been freeing. I think that's what I like most about this genre.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly what I see with a lot of this, and it's very interesting to me coming from the radio side too, and doing this, and I started in the 1980s in radio. Okay, so technology was still like two rocks being knocked
Yeah,
together.
you had a bunch of cans on string.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I can tell you this: if in 1985, if I wanted to talk to somebody in Singapore on the radio, it would have cost $1 billion because
Oh yeah,
Ma Bell didn't want you to talk to anybody across the street. It would have sounded like basically the tin cans full of beans,
oh
and
yeah.
I would have been fired immediately for spending that much money to do something like a vanity project. Um, and the technology has run sometimes ahead of our ability to really um, file it in the right place, uh, uh, status wise in our lives. And for good and bad in some ways. Sometimes it's with this particular outlet. Now we have a chance to see a lot more talent as consumers than we ever would have before.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I will admit I watch very few. Uh, I'm not a
Not a
it's
consumer.
very weird. It's very weird being in a genre and not like I'm a fan of the genre. However, I don't watch much of it.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Like I have friends and a couple people, but it's like, I've been asked, I've been interviewed before, a long time ago, and I was asked like, oh, so who do you watch? And I was like, oh, there's a guy named Dave Bull. He does Japanese printmaking.
Yeah,
There's a woman that does woodworking.
yeah,
There's a short filmmaker. He's in college.
yeah.
There's a guy who speed runs Metal Gear Solid 1 on a bike, on an exercise bike, and he's doing the Great Wall of China. He's at mile 400 right now. We're
Oh my
seeing
God.
where he goes,
Yeah.
and it's there's so much out there, and I just love the fact that now uh people can participate in these things and
Hmm.
take from all walks of life. And like I one of my favorite VTubers is she's a vampire.
Hmm.
It's the daughter of Dracula. Like I absolutely adore her. Um she's a friend now, and I definitely take a lot of her ideas, and we kind of go back and forth.
Hmm.
And she's just this sorceress with 3D,
Hmm.
and I'll throw ideas at her and go, "Is this stupid?" And then she'll just go, "It is very stupid, but also incredible. Let's do this. Let's see how this works." And it's given sort of like me and other people I know this just the the community is fantastic. I will say the community is fantastic, and like anything, it has its issues, but what doesn't, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you don't have to look very hard sometimes, but you have to put out a lot of effort, and then sometimes people just do that, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
all found people who we'd rather not, mess with, but sometimes they find you, and you have to deal with it that way. But that's the way it's always been in trying to broadcast and entertain other people. Uh, Radio people have it, and people call in every 5 minutes and yell at you on the air or something, or come by the station and ask why you're still working when it's not my fault. The team lost 11 games that season. That sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
Or even on if you're on TV and there's a power outage and they get mad at you.
yeah. It's like
I don't have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter. Somebody will find some reason to as I said before, throw mud in your Cheerios, and
yeah,
you just have to keep going. With this, not only are you being able to express yourself the way you want to and present yourself the way you want to, which I think is very important, um, but you have the potential audience of 99% of the planet.
Yep.
And
Um,
well,
uh,
except for like some countries.
yeah, it is it is amazing to sort of pan out your view and go. I have people who I've they visited for an event here, and it's through VTubing, and you run into them. And it's like, dude, aren't you from Vancouver? You're yeah, you flew all the way. Hey, it's finally a pleasure to meet you. It's great, and just this connection ability where it's like, uh, I know you as anime lady that plays a dragon sorceress on the internet. That
Yeah,
was your initial thing, and now it's we're eating ourselves sick in Vegas.
yeah, yeah. Stuffing sushi down. It's
Yeah,
and it has that way too when you're doing interviews. I would interview people in on all sorts of walks, different levels of quote unquote fame. But it always comes down to how are you presenting yourself to the other people. If I come up to um, great football player Joe Smith and I say, "Boy, Joe, I'm a big fan of yours," they're going to throw up that, okay, here's somebody. I'm going to give them the pat answers. I don't really care what they have to say. It's just. But if I talk to them like human beings, then they're more relaxed. I'm more relaxed. The people listening are more relaxed, and you get more out of them. And
yeah,
this, I think, that happens a lot now with people at this moment on in VTubing. They're able to do that a little
yeah,
bit better.
yeah. That it's there's just so much cool stuff out there, and it's um one of my friends just started VTubing,
Mm.
and he was telling me, yeah, I just mess around, man. Like it's just something to mess around with. I would be putting, look, I'd be putting this money at the bar, and that wasn't working out for me. So try something new, and it's really, I think it has the ability and the potential to be a healthy way of living in a digital age,
Mm,
especially for people like me or other people who are not very comfortable with it.
right,
Um, and it's a way of channeling that. All eyes are not a lot of people like eyes on them.
right.
I know I don't a lot of the time. When I'm performing or I'm doing something on a stage or something that's that's still I don't think about.
Your eyes are closed.
No, it's one of those things where it's like I'm putting on a performance and it is for an audience, but the audience is not an individual person.
Right.
It's sort of the capital A audience, and in when you're starting out in VTubing, it's a little more personable. It's you can kind of like practice that.
Right. Yeah. You get it,
You
and
don't really get that option
and you
otherwise.
and you did the radio stuff, and you know that
Mhm.
you can be talking to, um, 1,000 people and not know it, or
Yep.
and you could be talking, however you talk. I always tried to talk like I was. Someone had turned the radio on in the living room, invited me into their house, and now I'm sitting there talking with them.
Yep.
But it just happens that there may be two couple times where there's 1,000 people on the other end of it.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that you're talking to a group of you're talking to individual people. There's just that many of them. Um,
Yep.
and it makes a big difference in seeing them and running away. And
Yeah, it is such a weird, it's a weird thing. When I was growing up, I never thought that this would be a uh who would have thought, in the 90s and early 2000s, that you'd see st- it's the hundreds, it's got to be hundreds of thousands now, just in their homes,
yeah,
available.
Mm-hmm.
to the world, and it is remarkable, and it's humbling.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
like that's uh, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
It is, and people coming back to your streams to talk and be with you, no matter what you're doing.
Yep.
That's always a. I don't care who you are. That's going to boost your ego, and and it's like, yeah, they're because of your personality and what you're doing with it. They enjoy being with you. They start looking forward to it. Um, it's an appreciation that is very hard to get anywhere else. Um, without sending gifts and having to show up at their door with flowers.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I will not say no if somebody clicks a link and sends some cash though. Like the tips are always appreciated.
Hey, you and I both are in radio. We both know that the M in media means mooch. By golly, and if you're
Oh yeah,
and if that free T-shirt doesn't fit, it's going to be a headband, and it's still mine.
I I have I was having a conversation recently, a couple days, 2 or 3 days ago, with a friend of mine who's like, they want to do this as a side job.
Yeah.
And I was telling them, okay, well, you have to treat it as the side job then. Like you can't just kind of half-ass it,
Yeah.
And they asked me, they're like, I've had my job for a very long time. I'm
Right.
going to keep it for a while. And it's like, well, how do you justify the money? And I was like, I don't justify the money. I justify the time.
Mm.
But I will admit, I have made way more money on the side with the skills that I've picked up in VTubing
Mhm.
than I ever have live broadcasting. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
live broadcasting is the bonus. The stuff that I do on the side for y'all
Yep.
that I get, that you hire me for is infinitely more return on investment.
Oh
Because it's
yeah.
like, oh, I learned how to do this. Now I have the skill. And if there's one thing I just want to tell, like the broadcast of VTubers, it's write yourself a resume
Mhm.
just on the things you've picked up in VTubing, and then you'll realize, like, even if this isn't for you, like, I don't want to do broadcasting anymore, you might find that you love something else.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is nice.
Absolutely. You know what? I gotta get you back on again because we have too much stuff to talk about. So.
Oh yeah, no, please
yeah.
hit me up. This is what I do.
Well, I do appreciate it. Tank Bearclaw, and we'll have the links in the description, and gotta check out, see what Tank's going on with, because it's good stuff. And
anybody can go to tankbearclaw.com.
Yeah.
I have a .com because that's been around for a while.
Yes.
That has all the links that you could ever want.
All righty. I appreciate it so much, and we will get you back soon. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.